Rally New Zealand took the drivers north of Auckland to the daunting and fast stages. Mistakes were made. Some failed to finish, and others just broke down. But Hayden Patton kept his head and drove like a champion to take the points on day one. Now the rally heads south to Franklin. The Kiwi 2 and Classic cars join the rally for a day. Who will step up to challenge Patton? Someone will win, someone will lose. It's Rally New Zealand Round 2 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. Early Saturday morning and the cars and drivers are preparing for a tough day ahead, but as always it's a new day, so points up for grabs.
Hayden second on day one, but day two's another day.
Oh, it is indeed, and it's obviously a long way to go in the rally yet, so day one Mark was going very well, and today's another day like you say, so first half of the day, first three stages we just set a comfortable pace, so won't take too much notice of times, and then see where that sits us. If we set the times, maybe we'll carry on like that, and then but basically we'll re-evaluate halfway through the day.
Chris, day one, some really good points in the bag, but I guess you want the same thing for day two?
Yeah, definitely, pretty much same the day, but we're looking for more consistency, and we've learnt a lot yesterday, so we've taken what we've learnt on board, especially with the tyre and in relation to the setup on the car. So consistency's where it is today.
Emma, good points on day one, third in Group N, so I guess you want to improve that in day two?
Yeah, day one was a bit tough for us, but we managed to come back and recover some good points. So day two's a new day, and the car's feeling good. I think I learned a few things about driving on these tyres yesterday. So looking forward to a better day today.
That's the big thing a lot of people are saying about these tyres is they spent day one sorting it out.
Yeah, it's also surprisingly loose yesterday. I expected it to be a bit more swept than what it was, but I think today, we definitely learned a lot from yesterday, and like you say, it was a lot of getting the setup right and making progress for today.
Dean, going into day two, you've still got the lead on the championship.
Yeah, I don't know how that could be. I think a few people had problems, like Mason, his demise. But yeah, we were struggling a little bit with our tyres. I wasn't really happy with our pace yesterday, so hopefully we can kind of made some suspension adjustments, and hopefully it's going to work today.
Seems to be a common theme with the tyres. There's a lot of people struggling.
Yeah, it's just it's real hard. Like if you get an inch offline, the car just seems to be all over the show, so you don't get much confidence. So it's really hard to push.
So let's check out the stages ahead with our Vantage Stage Preview.
Special Stage 10, New Franklin, is the first stage of the day. First 9 kilometres are tarmac, before then opening out into sort of medium speed, narrow country roads. Special Stage 11 Baker is one of the tighter stages of the event. At 21 kilometres long, the middle section is very tight and very narrow. It's probably going to be a low average speed through this stage. The following stage, Special Stage 12, Te Akau Coast, is the longest stage of today. At 30 kilometres long, this stage has a bit of everything in it. Some really fast, wide sections, which then narrow up into more tight technical stuff over crests, before finishing on a wide, fast, slippery road. Final stage before service, Special Stage 13, is a blast around the Hampton Downs racetrack. This will be pretty interesting, as our tyres are going to be well worn after all the gravel stages, and it's going to be difficult to put on a good show for the crowd. First stage after service is a repeat of New Franklin. This stage is going to be pretty tricky now with the whole field going through the course, as many will have cut on the tarmac road, which brings all the dirt out onto the track. It's really important that you also follow the cuts, or it's going to end up on the loose stuff out on the marbles. Special Stage 15 Baker will now be in good condition with the whole field being through the stage. This stage starts very tight and narrow, technical sections before opening out. Good pace notes is a real must in here, as it's a very technical stage. Special Stage 16 Te Akau Coast is the last gravel stage of today. This stage is a nice stage, very, very fast, and will definitely be the fastest stage of day 2. Final stage of today, Special Stage 17, Hampton Downs. We should have learned a few tricks from our first pass around it before lunch, so hopefully we'll be a little bit quicker this afternoon.
Under the WRC rules, all cars are resetted on day 2, so it's Hayden Patton now starting in 15th. First of the PWRC cars, and of course the lead car in the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship.
Well, this is something different to start the day off. A mixed stage, half tarmac and half gravel. In fact, the first 9 kilometres is tarmac, and it's very important to stay in the line on the tarmac. As we saw in the previous shot, where a lot of gravel gets kicked out on the road. But now Hayden, he's in the gravel section here now.
On day one, Patton established a good lead in the afternoon. He kept the competition at bay, so can he do the same on day two? Get back into that groove early on.
Well, talking about that groove, just see the groove there that the WRC cars have done, particularly on the cut on the apex. Very important for Hayden to stay in that groove as he comes down to the finish.
And it's time for the new Franklin stage, 20.8 Ks, and it's 12 minutes 49.6. With Richard Mason not restarting, Chris West looks like being the toughest competition for Patton, especially if he can find the form that saw him lead round one in Rally Otago.
Go. 5 right plus opens into a short 6 left minus into a 5 left minus into a 5 right plus. Short 3 right.
Well, very important for Chris West today to have a good start. On day one, he let Hayden Patton get away a little bit too early. For West, he really has to be on the groove right from the word go.
So what time can Westy produce today? With Mason gone, of course, he's got a great chance here for maximum points. He needs them to make up for that loss in Otago. Westy coming down to the line for New Franklin. His time will be slower than Patton, 12:55.2. That's 5.6 seconds slower. And like Hayden Patton and Kingsley Thompson, Emma Gilmore is also competing in the PWRC side of the rally. A slow start to day one with a niggling clutch, but came back second in the PWRC event by the end of the day. So here she is on day two of Rally New Zealand.
Well, as Emma said in the preview, it's very important to get these tyres working. These Scorpion tyres that every competitor is running, but they are hard compound. So the only thing they can adjust is the tyre pressures. And as soon as you get out of line, you lose a lot of time.
So let's see her time down to the line. Emma Gilmore looks a bit slow. 13:05.1. She's lost 15 seconds already. Dean Subner still leads the Vantage New Zealand Rally Championship after day one. That's overall, so it's important for him to stay in touch with the leaders throughout the day.
Well, remember on day one, a whole set of points. Day two, again, a whole set of points, and the same with day three. So Dean's probably looking at the big picture today. Just score some points, keep it on the road, and be consistent.
So down to the little picture now, you can see the finish in his time. 13:01.6, third fastest so far. Patrick Malley now. He got distracted on day one, lost about 8 minutes when he slid off the road. He's on the comeback trail.
Well, he certainly looks like it on these shots because he's carrying a fair bit of speed over these crests. And these roads are very tricky. They're a little bit like up north where they're quite cresty, and if you get it wrong, you'll be in a bit of trouble. And he has got it wrong. Oh, he just recovered. Well done.
Finish 60.
Looks like he's fast again this morning. 13.8. So Malley moves into third.
Yeah. Did I miss her or hear it or?
So confusion over the notes. That's the definition of lucky and staying on the limit. So that's the top five, but plenty of surprises coming up. Stephen Barker was the leading car in the two-wheel drive on day one, so no surprise that he continued to be the fastest. But what was astonishing was that he was sixth fastest on the stage, just 29 seconds slower than Hayden Patton.
Well, he's driving pretty hard here too. Look at the momentum he's carrying. Maybe the reason is because they're running the tyre that they're familiar with. They don't have to run the Scorpion tyre.
Well, this is one man who should have been in front of Barker. The two Bens, Ben Jagger at the wheel.
Yes, well, bad luck on day one when they broke a gearbox early on, but not before showing some fairly good speed. Well, he's got it all wrong here. He just got on that gravel.
And he's going to lose some time there. Ben Jagger, not happy, the local driver from Whangarei. Also trouble for the open class leader, Jeff Argyle.
Yeah, Jeff complaining about gearbox trouble already.
Sloane Cox had trouble too and lost time, about 3 minutes on the stage. And Glenn Inkster lost time in a different way.
Well, this is the same corner that Jagger went off. He was very lucky there not to go up the bank and hit that post.
And now he has to limp out of the stage. Looks like he's got a puncture as well too, so problems there for Glenn Inkster. But it was a great start by Regan Ross in the Classics, leading that class 8th overall in that beautiful sounding Escort. That's why fans love the Classics. His competition, Jeff Judd, crashing out on the stage.
Yeah, happened towards the end of the stage. Quite a lot of damage on that car, so a major rebuild for that before Whangarei.
Let's hope he can get that Chevette back in action too. And coming up after the break, in fact, all the drivers were pushing hard and finding it hard to stay on the road in Rally New Zealand. Welcome back to Rally New Zealand. So plenty of drama after just one stage on day 2. And next up it's Baker, 18 kilometres. Hayden Paddon put on another top time over the stage. 13 minutes 27.3 as he tried hard and pushed hard for an early lead. Dean Sumner was the best of the rest on the stage, but he was still 10 seconds slower than Paddon. And he led a group of 6 competitors all within 3.5 seconds of this time. So competition was fierce. And after crashing out on day 1, Patrick Malley put on a big charge on day 2. He put that behind him, and of course his lucky escape.
Well, he was still the 3rd fastest in the first stage, so he's right in it with a good chance here, provided he can keep this pace up, and he certainly has got it.
Look at that, he's bouncing from one corner to the next.
He sure is, he's carrying a fair bit of pace through here.
And he was 3rd fastest on that stage as well, and Marcus van Klink scored his first top 5 stage time. 4th, just half a second down. Chris West, 5th fastest, but only half a second behind Van Klink.
Well, the times are very close, and when they're this close, the drivers just have to concentrate on not making any errors. Chris West is still 2nd overall, but 17 seconds down on Paddon.
3 left minus, into 3 right minus, middle crest into 2 left plus, and 2 left plus, into 5 right minus.
No mistakes for Sloane Cox this time. 6th fastest stage time would move him up 4 places from 30 to 26th.
Well, on these roads you need very good pace notes, and take a listen to Taryn Cox getting her brother through these stages.
Slow small crest into narrow 4 left tightens, 30, 3 left plus, and 6 right. 20.
Doing a good job, the brother and sister combination. Kingsley Thompson was now running amongst the rest of the New Zealand cars after day 2. That was after the reseeding. But he lost 5th gear on the first stage, so problems for him.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a problem in this stage, because this stage is quite a bit tighter, so really they'd probably never get into 5th gear over this stretch of road.
In fact, he was the 7th fastest on the stage, moved him up 2 places to 5th overall.
Short 4 right, short 5 left.
But this time it was Emma Gilmore who would lose time with a mistake.
Well, again, Emma's carrying a fair bit of pace, in fact a lot of pace down here in this downhill section. And she's just got it wrong.
Gilmore dropping to 8th overall and losing some valuable time there, damaging the rear end. Stu Taylor moved past her into 7th.
Long 6 right.
And Stephen Barker continued his giant-killing effort in his Fiesta, 6th place. And driving very much like Hayden Paddon at times.
Yes, carrying good momentum with this front-wheel drive car through here. The other thing to remember is his fellow competitor, Ben Hunt, he's almost as fast.
Alex Kelsey, the leader in the open 4-wheel drive class, but he was under pressure from Van Klink for the class lead. Regan Ross continued to lead the Classic in his BDA Escort and was still in the top 10. So Hayden Paddon takes a 17-second lead after 2 stages, but look at the battle for 3rd, just 0.6 seconds separate Malley and Sumner.
And what a performance for Stephen Barker, 6th overall in the Ford Fiesta.
Well, it's a classic rally ride now, Te Akau Coast, 30 kilometres, so the longest stage on day 2. It's a classic stage, fast-flowing gravel roads, a stage which, of course, the Franklin District is famous for, and the drivers can really give it the jandle.
Well, this stage has got a bit of everything. It's pretty fast at the start here and then gets tight and twisty. A lot of crests here as well, so concentration is the key as well.
Can Hayden Paddon maintain his blistering pace as well as that concentration?
Well, we saw on day one where Hayden on the longer stage has made a break, so is he going to do it again? Because this is the longest stage of the day.
And over 30 Ks, you can make up some big time or lose some time as well.
150. Flat 8 right opens. 30. Short 7 left over finish. Right 50.
Back onto a tarmac finish after coming off the gravel. Fast finishes time, 19:27.5.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Westy getting some air on the stage now, chasing hard to try and stay in touch. Look at him. Almost getting lift off in the Andrew Sims Mitsubishi.
Well, this is Chris's opportunity, the longest stage here. He knows he has to pull in a good one here to stay in touch with Hayden Paddon and all the other competitors.
Oh,
he's blowing it. He's blowing it.
Cooked it.
Round he goes. He's not happy either.
Remember, it all turned to custard for him on the long stage in Otago too at the finish of that rally.
Well, see how much time they lose when they turn the car around, Clint.
Patrick Malley was 4.6 seconds behind West going into the stage, so can he claim second place now?
6 left
Well,
plus
Patrick
200.
Malley's been very impressive today. He's been right on the pace. The other thing that Patrick is he's very, very smooth in that car. He's nice and relaxed, and this is a very fast finish coming down here, and I think he's on for a good time here, Clint.
Long 5 right plus
Down to the line, what's his time going to be? 19:27.9. He's done it. Malley moves into second. Dean Sumner was lucky to hold on to fourth place here. He lost 32 seconds on the top two through the stage.
Well, 32 seconds is a lot of time to lose in this stage. Oh, and you can see why. Round he goes, hits the bank, and a lot of drivers having a lot of trouble here, Clint.
Staying on those classic cambered Kiwi roads, Stuart Taylor was the man on the move on the stage. After a bit of a slow start, he was picking up the pace.
Yeah, well, Stuart Taylor hasn't had a lot of mileage in this car, but he's been playing around with tyre pressures today, so that could help him quite a bit. Again, coming down to the finish, it looks like another good time here.
Remember, he's in the Evo 10. His time is going to be 19:36.5. That's a third fastest, so he'll move up to fifth overall. Quick work between stages by Emma Gilmore and Glenn McNeil, and her car was back on the pace. Fourth fastest on the stage, and she was up to sixth. We didn't see much competition on day one for Stephen Barker as he cleared out to lead the two-wheel drive class, but today Ben Hunt is hot on his heels.
Well, he's going to lose a bit of time to the four-wheel drive cars on the long stage here, but look at his commitment through here. Great stuff.
And driving with confidence too. Ben Hunt had a bad day one, overheating problems with the engine on stage one. Now he was posting top 10 times, close to 7 seconds of Barker in the battle for 7th outright. Back to the four-wheel drives now, back to the Evo 10 of Kingsley Thompson. Oh, back into a bank. And that caused a puncture, so he would lose time for the day and put him out of contention. The car's headed for Hampton Downs and a service break after a lap of the track. But let's check out the other class battles from day two. Alex Kelsey had engine troubles and dropped out of the rally, so Marcus Van Klink took over the lead in the open class, moved up to 8th overall. In the classics, Regan Ross was already 3.5 minutes clear of the competition by the time the cars reached service and was sitting 11th overall. Shane Merlin was a top Rally New Zealand competitor in the early 80s, and now the Classics is giving him a chance to enjoy the roads again in a 1980s car. Second in the class, a distant 20th overall. Some might say Reg Cook is a classic, but it's the Kiwi 2 class that he was leading after the morning stages. Matt Summerfield was the second quickest after copping a penalty of over 3 minutes. So Hayden Paddon has another good morning 25-second lead over Patrick Malley.
Emma Gilmore recovering well to 6th place ahead of Van Klink, the leading four-wheel drive open class car.
He's in 8th place. Right behind him in 9th is Stephen Barker leading the two-wheel drives. And in 11th, Regan Ross, the first of the classics. So it's time for service, time to catch up with Team Green.
It's been a tough morning, actually. We made a couple of wee setup changes overnight just to try and find some rear-end grip in the car, and obviously the conditions are very slippery for everyone, but I'm just finding a handful, very loose. So it's just a matter of pulling the driving back a little bit and having to just literally drive through the corners, and the corner speed's well down. So I'm looking forward to this afternoon on the sweep roads.
Chris currently down in 4th place, but a bit of a battle there for the minor money.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty tough conditions out there this morning, and really, we had a spin in the last stage, which has probably cost us a placing or two this morning. But that's okay. It's same for everyone. We just got to get our head down and focus on what we're doing.
Still struggling with tyres.
Oh, look, it's there's just so much in it, and the conditions are changing. And last stage we really caught us out, and lost a bit of time with the spin. So.
Em, a bit of a problem early on this morning.
Yeah, on stage 2 we had a pace note that was a bit wrong and just had too much speed up over a crest, and probably quite lucky there was a big bank there to stop us going off road, so we had it quite hard, knocked the toe out both front and rear, and knocked the tyre off the bead on the rear, so I had flat tyre for the rest of the stage, so I had about 11 k's of a flat tyre, and then it also made the car pretty difficult to drive in the last stage, and we're also catching Westy's dust after he spun, so all in all another difficult morning, but hopefully we'll be better this afternoon.
Patrick literally been flying this morning because currently you're in 3rd place Kiwi.
Yeah, 3rd place Kiwi, we're stoked and right in behind Padden for Group M points, so it's a hell of a lot better today. I'm really looking forward to this afternoon.
What do you think the difference is from today as opposed to yesterday?
Keeping on the road would be the main difference. Easily, that's what's been the change for us, but we're really happy considering we're one of the few cars running pump gas compared to the WRF fuel, so we'll keep on pushing and see where we end up.
Dean running down in 5th place at the moment after the 3 stages this morning.
Yeah, that last stage we lost a whole heap of time. We didn't know why, but it turns out we actually had a puncture. And these tyres are that hard, they just they stay up, and the car was just handling funny, and yeah, so we lost a whole heap of time. But never mind, we've got another 3 stages to go next. So.
And what a morning for Stephen Barker, the Rally Scholarship winner, making the most of his entry.
Yeah, we're having a pretty good run. Getting a little bit held up this mid-morning, but started off really well. Having a good battle with Ben, so it was good. Yep.
Why do you put it down to some of these two-wheel drive cars? You're ahead of a lot of the four-wheel drives.
I think it's the tight and windy stuff that really suits us a little bit more. And once you get the momentum up, we seem to be not far behind in the fast stuff either. So I don't know what it is. Just seem to be there or thereabouts. So it's good.
And of course, in the afternoon, all the stages are repeated again over roads which are now being swept, and magnificent Kiwi country roads as well. Hayden Padden back out onto the new Franklin stage.
Well, we can see the road swept there, but it's not exactly clean. So important for Hayden to stay in the groove here. He's got a 24-second lead, so he really doesn't have to do too much. 12:49 was his time in the first time through. This time it's 12:27.9, so definitely quicker. Patrick Malley probably can't beat Hayden Padden for time, but he still has to push hard to protect second place from Chris West.
30. Long 4 left 60.
Yeah, well, he's got to up the pace because Westy's coming back at him.
Oh, he's bit wide.
Yes, he's gone. In fact, he's tipped the car right down the bank. In fact, he's gone over.
Oh, that's disaster for Patrick Malley.
Oh, shit.
And of course, that bad luck for Malley could be good luck for Chris West, who's had his fair share of bad luck, Roger.
Well, he certainly has. If we cast our mind back to the round one, he didn't finish on day two after winning day one. So maybe this could be the turning point for Chris West. Very important for him to stay ahead of Dean Sumner and Emma Gilmore today.
And Emma Gilmore's next through the stage. Remember too that going into this rally, Richard Mason and Patrick Malley were both in front of Emma Gilmore in the overall lead in the championship. She was back in fourth place. This is her chance to gain some points here with them both been out of the rally now.
Well, on day one, she got fair way back and had to do the big charge through. Almost caught Dean Sumner on day one. Can she do it on day two?
12:33.5, not a bad time. Now, Dean Sumner, of course, he's under pressure to hold his position.
Well, Dean was in fourth place, but with Malley gone, he'll move up to third. But The time that Emma did through this stage was pretty good.
In fact, 10 seconds quicker than Sumner, who stays in third place. Stuart Taylor lost time again on the stage.
Well, I don't think Stu Taylor's had any problems. Maybe just a little bit slow after the break.
Tightens to a very long 6 minus over small crest.
And also keeping it steady, Glenn Smith slowly moving up to 6th place overall. Behind Smith, a raging battle for the first in the two-wheel drive category. Stephen Barker had it all on his own on day one, but today he faced great competition from Ben Hunt. Good driving here from the young drivers too.
Well, look at the commitment, and it's great to see these two young drivers. Scholarship winner from 2009, which was Ben Hunt, and 2010 Stephen Barker going head-to-head.
And Hunt was 2 seconds faster than Barker on the stage, so 0.4 of a second between them now. And it wasn't the only tight tussle in the rally. Dave Strong, one of 4 drivers in the battle for 13th.
Well, Dave's certainly showing a bit of pace here. Maybe he's getting a bit of confidence with his car, because this car is a very tricky car to drive.
Josh Marston up to 14th, just 3.9 seconds behind Strong. Matt Jansen had been left behind on day one, but was improving steadily on day 2. And he would need to keep improving too, because 0.8 seconds behind was Sloane Cox.
Don't touch crest and narrow 6 right minus. Into medium 5 left and 7
Well, Sloane
right.
Cox had a problem early on, so he's making his charge up through the field. I would think that if he didn't have that problem, he'd be sort of pretty close to the pointy end.
And coming up after the break, will this slow down Hayden Patton? Welcome back to Rally New Zealand, where Hayden Patton now has an easy lead on day 2, but on the stage you got a reminder of how things can quickly change.
Well, up until this point, Mark Tapper was the leading New Zealand driver, and there he is, upside down in the middle of the road.
And out of the rally, so that means Patton now has a chance to be the first Kiwi home, as well as the leading driver in the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Championship. Slow stage time from Chris West on the stage dropped him back to the clutches of Sumner, Gilmore and Taylor. Big battle for third was now a battle for seconds.
Well, it looks like there's a bit of a problem there that Chris has got with that car. It doesn't really seem to be handling that good. And look at that big rock, Clint.
Dean Sumner was still in third, but now just 8 seconds behind West.
Stuart Taylor really starting to put in a charge here. Obviously his confidence is growing on these repeat stages. In fact, he was second fastest on this stage.
Ben Hunt took the lead in the two-wheel drive Fiesta class on the stage, just 6.6 seconds ahead of Barker. Now the repeat of the 30k Te Akau coast stage. Hayden Patton just had to hold on to his position. No mistakes. With only Hampton down sprint to finish the day, he would take maximum points.
Well, let's see what he can do on the second run through here. On this very fast finish, tapped out in top gear. Over the line, 18:53.1. Wow, that's 30 seconds quicker.
So real pressure on Chris West, hoping for a better time in the stage as well. Trying to hold on to that battle for second place.
Yes, 22 seconds separating second to fifth, so West really needs to push hard here. And a little bit too hard. Around he goes again.
Oh, more trouble for Westy.
5 left minus.
Perhaps his luck hasn't changed. His time 19 minutes 20.9, so Westy could be in trouble. Emma Gilmore already up to second in the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship after her performance in day 1. And if she can pass West and Sumner on this stage, she could go into day 3 just a point shy of the championship lead.
The time 19:04.4. She's got in front of Chris West by 1 second.
So all the pressure now on Dean Sumner. Could he hold his place, move to second, or will he have to fall back to third?
100.
This is typical Rally New Zealand action here. These rows produce great battles, and this is a great battle for the lead in the New Zealand Rally Championship. Dean Sumner coming down to the finish line. What's his time going to be? 18:59.7. Wow, he's in second place.
And that's why they call it the Drivers' Rally. Now, Stu Taylor, if he could put in a good time here, he could move past Westy.
Well, this could be terrible for Chris West. Stu Taylor is looking like he's on the pace here. He'll have to do a time of 18:58.5 to move ahead of Chris West. What can he do?
7 left plus, finish 30 long, 5 right plus.
19:02.1, he's still 5th overall behind Chris West.
Great times coming up on these final stages. 3 drivers have suffered at the start of the day. Glenn Inkster was 5th fastest on the stage, recovering to 7th overall after his morning off.
Well, it only takes one mistake and you're down the field, so Glenn Inkster has to do the catch-up all day. These roads are his home roads. He doesn't live too far from here.
And because they repeat them in the afternoon, it gives them a chance to make up that lost time from the morning. Sloane Cox also moving up the ladder to 11th. Look at that! Dust flying in Rally New Zealand. Ben Jagger, 6th fastest on stage 15, 6th fastest on stage 16. So good pace at the end of the day, but just too much lost time from the crash at the start of the day. He would finish 18th overall. This stage saw the end of the Fiesta battle when Ben Hunt stopped in the stage. Sabaka finished in first two-wheel drive, 8th overall. Phil Campbell would take 2nd in that class, back in 15th place. It's the only day for the classic cars, so Regan Ross was making sure he got max attack, max points, leader in the class and 12th overall. Toyota driver Miles McElwain, 2nd in the class and 17th. Kiwi 2 class just scoring points today. Reg Cook kept ahead of Matt Summerfield-Skoda in 19th place overall. Summerfield had to live with a 3-minute 30 penalty all day, which cost him time and the win. So at the end of day 2, Hayden Paddon takes maximum points again. Chris West just nips in front of Emma Gilmore for 3rd on the final stage of the day.
Glenn Smith will be happy with 6th, and a great comeback from Glenn Inkster in 7th, and Van Klink, the only open 4-wheel drive class survivor.
Thompson 10th and Regan Ross 12th in the Classic Escort. Coming up, just 4 stages to score points on the final day of Rally NZ. Will Whangar Coast be the car breaker or the rally maker?
The love triangle that has enthralled a generation. Yep, the Twilight Stars are back.
I'm gonna fight for you until your heart stops beating.
And we've got an exclusive interview with the stars this week on Campbell Live.
The Bourne Objective. This time the tables have been turned. The hunter will become the hunted. Will revenge become too personal? Will this hunt be Bourne's downfall? Robert Ludlam's The Bourne Objective. Out now.
And it's gourmet pies we're talking about, right? Gourmet. So how come you get one with a medium hot drink for only $7.50? I mean, they deserve respect.
Gourmet pie combos. Find the one you love at Wild Bean Cafe at BP Connect.
Oh, really? Thanks, mate. Just a hotel or something. Just came in here to get the Holden service and now they're giving me the valet parking treatment.
First time, eh?
Yeah.
Bet you felt pretty special when you first bought the car.
I did, mate.
Cool thing is, mate, it's like that every time you come back.
Oh, really?
And your car feels special too.
Yeah.
Have a look at this.
I'm at Holden's National Training Centre. It's here where we put our more than 50 Holden service outlets through the hoops until they know every model from top to bottom. So any problem, they'll find it fast, fix it properly and deliver your car back gleaming.
That's Greg Murphy, isn't it?
You know me and Greg, we're mates.
Oh, really?
At least you know your car has been well looked after.
What about your car, mate?
Oh, tow bar.
Actually, I know someone who could put a tow bar on your car.
No, mate. You want genuine Holden parts. They're tailor-made for your car. And does your mate do AA rewards points?
No.
No.
Actually, I never got the hang of that. Towing stuff, reversing business, tricky, isn't it?
I mean, Murph asked me for reversing tips all the time.
Greg Murphy.
There's a lot to like at your Holden dealer, so see yours today or visit insideholden.co.nz. And while you're there, register and you could win some awesome Holden gear.
I'll race you for it.
Steak and double cheese. Tender, juicy steak with soft, runny cheese. It's one big hit.
Jack Johnson returns to New Zealand, performing songs from his new album, To the Sea. Bowl of Brooklyn's New Plymouth, Westpac Arena Christchurch, and Vector Arena Auckland. Tickets on sale Friday, June 4.
Worn shock absorbers are like driving on bald tyres. You've less control and much longer stopping distances. A simple bounce test lets you check your shock absorbers. But for total peace of mind, get the Shock Shop experts to check them. Free. Check yours today. No monthly account fees. One condition. That's freedom. Open a Freedom transaction account. Only from the National Bank.
Who can save you a massive 15% off all farm building kit sets?
Total spanking.
That's 15% off all farm building kit sets. June only to celebrate field days. Terms and conditions apply. Total span.
Let's make a tasty lasagna. It's so easy. Cook the beans, then add the pasta. Then top it with Dolmio bechamel lasagna sauce.
So easy, the kids can make it again tomorrow.
Dolmio bechamel lasagna sauce.
I do this for you.
There was a party.
Tuesday.
Could Bianca Price shoot her sorority mate in chest?
Innocent.
It was Heather's idea. She'd never done the three-way before.
You have that effect on women. They get jealous.
Yeah.
Or guilty as sin.
Everybody has a cell phone camera, so it makes it hard to get away with murder.
Who's that? She took another picture.
Brought to you by Rexona Women.
45 years.
Oh my God, I can't do this.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery and New Zealand Rally Championship. This is day 3 of Rally New Zealand. Just 4 stages to find the winner today. Let's check out the stage preview with Emma Gilmore.
Sunday morning stages start with Special Stage 18 to Hudawai. This stage is a traditional Rally New Zealand stage, although now they've tarmacked the first kilometre of the stage, so it's a little bit different. This stage is high speed, but still very technical. Following stage is Special Stage 19, the famous Whanga Coast. At 29 kilometres long, this stage has a bit of everything in it. Starts off fast and flowing through farmland. Before 10 kilometres in, we start to head out towards the coast and winding our way along it. This stage starts tightening up, and there are some amazing views out to the left, although we certainly won't be looking at them.
And of course they repeat those stages throughout the day. Hayden Paddon had dominated the New Zealand Championship race, but now he was also the leading car in the PWRC and being first Kiwi a chance to win that Wolf Whittaker Trophy.
Well, I think Hayden will be conservative over these final stages as he's only doing one more round in the New Zealand Championship, so realistically he knows he can't win it this year.
Stage time across the finish of Te Hudawai, 8 minutes 31.4. Chris West next on the road. Is this his chance to get a day win?
Well, let's remember 32 points up for grabs today. So very important for Chris West not to turn that car around today. I know he's been playing around with the tyre pressures and maybe a little bit more set up on the car, so it looks quite smooth through here at the moment.
2 right plus, long, open. 3 left minus 30. All right, minus over finish on crest.
Well, he's coming up to the finish. What's his time going to be?
Can he beat Paddon? 8 minutes 31.1, just ahead of Hayden. Dean Sumner now next on to the stage. Can he improve on day 2, second place, and grab a win on day 3?
Well, Dean's another driver that's done a little bit of setup change from day 2, and he's played around with the tyre pressures as well to try and make them work a little bit better. Very important for him to get a good start here on day 3. Well, he's drifted a little bit wide there. You've got to stay on these lines. In fact, he's gone out again, coming up to the finish.
Still looks pretty quick, though. 8:23.4, he's in the lead.
Even a note's for average.
But still not happy. Can Emma Gilmore now get her first stage win? Classic rally road.
Well, Emma's just missed a gear there. Well, a little bit of rain coming in today. We haven't seen that for day 1 or day 2, so could that have an impact on this event? Coming down to the finish. 8:27.6, so she'll start the day behind Dean Sumner.
Stuart Taylor on the stage now. He improved his times all throughout day 2, so can he score his first day win for 2010 perhaps?
Well, Stuart Taylor is another driver, had a long, hard think about tyre pressures, and he's starting to bring them down to make them work a little bit better. So will this be an improvement for Stu Taylor through this stage?
It's all about that battle for grip on the gravel. Throwing it into the apex of the corner.
This looks like a pretty good time here, Clint.
Yes, 8:22.7. He takes the lead. But Jeff Argyle was back for day 3, and the ex-champ surprised everyone by taking his open class car into the lead with a stunning 8 minutes 21.9. Marcus van Klink not far behind in the open class car. He would slot into 4th place ahead of Gilmore. So to the fabulous Whangaa Coast, one tough stage. And in the past, of course, has claimed some big names. Can all the Kiwis get through unscathed? Stunning shots from the Helitrans, eye in the sky along the high coast road too.
Well, this gives us the opportunity to watch the New Zealand champ just drift this car through the second part of the tight Wonga Coast stage. Well, this special stage gets very tight and twisty towards the end, and it's very hard on the driver and the co-driver to keep maximum concentration through here. So towards the end of the stage, you probably find some of the drivers might go off the ball a little bit, but Hayden's coming to the finish now.
Everything's going off tyres, drivers, the time, 23.9 seconds.
Bloody hell. Come on, well done.
Stuart Taylor was the fastest Gold Star production class on stage 18.
6 left minus, short 6 right minus.
Well, he's carrying a lot of speed down here.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, too much. He's gone off the road.
So disaster there for Stuart Taylor. So will it be Dean Sumner now who challenges Argyle for the lead on the Whangaa Coast?
Remembering Argyle's driving the open four-wheel drive car, but this twisty end of the stage, this is where it will suit the production cars, and they will have an advantage with better grip.
Good effort by those spectators to get that far into the stage and keep their clothes on. Down to the finish now, Sumner.
Looks like a good time here.
22:37.9, that's 23 seconds faster than Padden. In fact, Jeff Argyle was 13.7 seconds slower on the stage, so he would drop to second behind Sumner, and now just 2.5 seconds in front of Gilmore. Glenn Inkster was 1.4 seconds slower than Argyle through the stage, but he moved up from 11th to 6th. A great effort by Inky.
Short 6 right, half short 6 left plus, it's a late 3 right. And 4 left plus 30.
So it looks like today will be a showdown between Dean Sumner and Jeff Argyle. Emma Gilmore keen to join the party too, just 2.5 seconds behind in third.
Hayden Padden should watch his back. His 6th place could be under threat from Sloane Cox. Dean showing a lot of pace this morning. You currently got a reasonable lead.
Yeah, it's great. We need the extra points. I've been pushing pretty hard. I've got to be careful though, like you can just go over the line, it doesn't take much, so got a little bit of a buffer now, but I think we're just going to try and keep up that pace for the next couple of stages.
Jeff, going pretty good today. You're currently second overall.
Yeah, we come out real good this morning. I think we were the quickest car through the first one, and then unfortunately the second one, no intercom, and then I had a spin halfway through it trying to hear the notes, so we've lost a little bit in there, but I'm quite confident. Go out and we'll be able to do some real good stage times.
Yeah, you're only 12 seconds behind Dean Sumner, so you're in there.
Oh yeah, I think I might be able to nudge the stage record through Whangaa Coast for a New Zealander. That's what we're going to try for.
Dean Sumner leading the day then with 2 stages to go. Great for his points in the championship.
Well, this will extend his championship lead in the points, but more importantly, it'll give him great confidence boost going into the Rally of Whangarei in July. That's the next round.
Of course, first he has to finish this day. The stage time, 8:12.1. Chris West must have done some fast work in the service park. His time up with the leaders, 8:07.6. Jeff Argyle, though, does it again on Tahutawai, fastest by 1/10 of a second. Emma Gilmore, 8 minutes 10.9, so remains in third. But no mistakes for this man, Hayden Padden. Not the fastest today, but certainly the smartest. Finishes first in PWRC, first overall in the New Zealand Rally Championship Gold Star class, first Kiwi home, so winner of the Wolf Whittaker Trophy again for Hayden Padden.
Well done, son.
But who would be the first for day 3? West, Gilmore and Argyle, all within striking distance of Dean Sumner.
And short left into 2 right plus opens.
Well, Hayden's time was 22:13.7. What's Westy going to do as he comes down towards the finish?
Right into 3 left minus.
And Clint, I think he's going to be a bit slower.
Yes, and Westy's time is 22:20.3. So now next on the road, Dean Sumner looks like his only threat will be Gilmore and Argyle.
Well, let's travel the last piece of the stage with Dean Sumner. Now, if he finishes, he'll be the New Zealand Championship leader. But can he top that with a Day 3 win?
Minus 30 over finish and caution long 2 left.
I think he's going to be slower than Hayden Paddon, Clint.
22:16.4. Now, can Emma Gilmore pull off a win today? If she posts a stage time of 22 minutes 03 for the stage, that would move her past Sumner into the lead.
Well, she's carrying a bit of pace through here, but I think she's not going to be able to do it her time. 22:09.8. It's a great time, but not enough to beat Sumner.
But Jeff Argyle did 22 minutes 06.3, and that was enough to go into the lead and make history as the first open class competitor to win a day in the New Zealand Champs. Confirmation then that Argyle is the Day 3 winner.
Glenn Inkster 6, followed by the young guns, Sloane Cox, Patrick Malley and Ben Jagger.
Great effort by Nigel Adams to come home 10th in the Evo 5. Stephen Barker, first in the Fiestas and first in two-wheel drive, 15th overall.
You really had to claw back Dean Sumner this afternoon, and you really hauled him in.
Oh, yeah, well, we were very lucky the first run through Whangaa Coast. We had no intercom at all. I was driving half of it blind, and we had a spin and all sorts of things. So if we hadn't had that, we would have been actually quite well in front.
Well done on the victory. You must feel good after, well, it's been a long time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very long time between drinks. So, yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's been a dream weekend for us. Obviously, the priority was the PWRC, which we've managed to win. So, couldn't ask for any more. And to be first Kiwis, really the icing on the cake.
Had a few problems today, but just got the car home.
Yeah, look, we had a big enough lead intact that we could conserve a bit today. We had a few problems with the clutch, which I was a little bit nervous about at midday. But, we just eased it through the day and made sure we got to here. So, great weekend for the whole team.
So let's see what that does to the points. Sumner leads with 145 from Emma Gilmore with 126. And look at that, just one rally and Paddon in fourth.
Ben Jagger with a narrow 3-point lead in the Junior Championship over Sloane Cox. But what a great result for Stephen Barker, now third.
So a great result for Hayden Paddon, but now can he defend his title in Rally Whangarei? And that's coming up round 3 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship.